I have a problem. I speak way too fast. When I get nervous, I speak fast. When I'm trying to be efficient, I speak fast. When I think I'm boring, I speak fast. And the problem is research is pretty clear on this. If you speak too quickly, people think you're nervous and they can't understand you as well. So one thing I've been working on is trying to speak a little bit slower. And I wanted to share some of these tips. I think it's working to help you if you also speak too fast. First, let's identify what is too fast. Standard speech rate is between 140 and 160 words per minute. Fast speech rate is considered anything over 160 words per minute. Most radio hosts actually speak at 160 to 170 words per minute because they're trying to cram more information into their hours. So I did a little test where I counted how many words I used in one of my most recent YouTube videos. Do you want to know what my words per minute were? 195 words per minute. That is way too fast. That's when I knew, okay, this is something I have to work on. So step number one is go figure out if you're actually speaking too fast. Are you at 140 to 160? You're good. If you're over 160, it's time to try the tips below. Number two, use power pauses. This has really helped me because power pausing is an act of competence. In my book, Cues, I talk about how we can use power pauses to add more competence into our vocal power. So the way that we do this is we think about adding power pauses at the end of our sentences, but also in the middle of our sentences to create drama. So let's say that I'm talking about something interesting. Instead of rushing to get it all out, I can say, let me tell you about something that totally changed my life. When I was 6 years old, that little pause in the middle adds more drama, more competence, and it also slows me down. Third tip, read poetry aloud. This is actually a really easy way to slow yourself down and get yourself in the habit of muscle memory training yourself to speak a little slowly. I'm going to try one for you. This poem is called Nothing Gold Can Stay by Robert Frost. I've been reading poems to my daughter every night to try to get myself to slow down, and it's super sweet and it's working. Here we go. Nature's first green is gold, her hardest hue to hold, her early leafs a flower, but only so an hour. Then leaf subsides to leaf, so Eden sank to grief, so dawn goes down to day, nothing gold can stay. Love it. Fourth tip, breathe more. Oftentimes we speak quickly because we're nervous, we're anxious. And so what happens to me is I'd stop taking breath, and by the end of my sentence, I've run out of breath and I'm speaking really fast, and at the end I'm whoo. So this has a double power effect in that one, it helps you slow down, but also it helps you sound better at the end of your sentences because you're not running out of air. So take more breaths before and after sentences. Take breaths when you're thinking. Take breaths before you start to answer someone's question. Fifth, drink water, drink coffee, drink tea. Sometimes when I hear myself speaking really fast, especially in a presentation or a party or event, I slow myself down by continuing speaking after I take a sip of water. Sometimes I don't need the sip of water. It just lets me take a pause, catch my breath, and catch my thoughts. Anushka Taylor, a voice coach, suggested this last tip, which I love, which is intentional articulation. This has also helped me because I struggle with certain words because I say them too fast. For example, my whole team knows I struggle with the word memorable. When I'm speaking fast, I'm memorable. Memorable. I just swallow the word. And so intentional articulation is identifying a couple words that are longer, more than 3 syllables that you struggle with, and not swallowing them. So memorable. You can also try this with your name. Something that people who speak fast often do is they swallow or rush through their name. So if I say, I'm Vanessa Van Edwards, that's literally the fastest way I can say my name because I'm nervous or I don't think you care or I just want to get it over with. So instead, try intentionally articulating your name. I'm Vanessa Van Edwards. Oh, isn't that better? So below, be sure to tell me which words you're going to intentionally articulate. If you like this video, be sure to give it a subscribe and give it a like. It'll also teach me that I should keep speaking more slowly. All right, likability secret number 1. I'm going to teach you my 5 phrases. These are my 5 favorite phrases that make you instantly more likable. And you'll see they all have a psychological meaning behind them. So these phrases all come from not only have I used them myself, but also the psychology behind them is incredibly important. They're really easy ways to increase or dial up your likability in everyday interactions. I'm going to teach you my 5 phrases. I want you to write them down, and I want you to begin using these liberally because they are so powerful. All right, here's the first one. I'm going to give you the phrase, and then I'm going to explain some of the science and psychology behind it. A lot of the time, by the way, what I was really frustrated with, the reason why I started Science of People, is I would read all this amazing research out of academic universities and incredible institutions, and then I didn't know what to do with it. So I would read about a psychological concept that we're going to hear about today, and I'd be like, how do I use this effect in conversation? How do I use this with my boss? How do I use this with my colleagues? And so my goal today was to take the science and turn it into very usable phrases that you could use right away. So hopefully you'll be able to even use them later today. I want to hear all about it too if you do. All right, so here's the very first phrase. Write it down. I was just thinking about you. This is one of my favorite ways to increase likability authentically. And that is because all humans are secretly worried that they are unlikable. They are secretly worried that people don't care about them. And so what's really powerful about this phrase is that you are calming the people around you's deepest worry and need with one simple little phrase. It'd be weird if you walked into conversations and you were like, I care about you. I want to quell your deep need for belonging. Like that could work, right? But it would be a little bit weird if you walked into a meeting and you were like, you matter to me. You belong. That would be a little weird, a little bit much. But it would be normal and natural to go into your meeting saying, Dave, I was just thinking about you. This is a secret way that we can calm someone's deepest fears with actually a very casual phrase. And what's great about this is it is super authentic. Anytime you are thinking of someone, you can mention it. So I don't want you to fake it. I want you to literally wait until you're thinking of someone. And we often think about the people we work with, people in our life. So when you think about people, you can reach out and say to them, or say to them when you see them, I was just thinking about you. It's the most authentic way to show belonging because you can do it anytime it naturally pops into your head. And people are constantly naturally popping into our head.